what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with my 2-cent Switch/gaming video for this week, where I take a look at some of the stories that came out, or the ones that interest me, and give you my thoughts and my opinions. So why don't we get started with the first one? And this one has to do with Brian Fargo, a developer who created who created many games, including Wasteland.to, that got released on the PS4, Xbox One, PC, Steam, and Mac, and just recently got released on the Nintendo Switch. Is interested in possibly buying the company Interplay. Though, for those who are not familiar, Interplay made some interesting games back in the 90s and early 2000s. For me, or at least they published several games. For me, I remember games like Wild 9, Earthworm Jim 1 and 2. I enjoyed those games. MDK as well. And they also handled the Fallout license. The only Fallout game from them I remember playing was Fallout Brotherhoods of Steel back in 2004. Before the rights of that game went to Bethesda, to be exact. Well, apparently Brian Fargo, who helped founded Interplay before founding inXile Entertainment, is interested in buying Interplay, to be exact. From an article posted on GameIndustry.buzz and Destructoid as well. Again, links will be in the description of this video, though. It says inXile Entertainment founder, if I'm saying the company's name correctly, apologize if I'm not, Brian Fargo has pledged to buy back Interplay, the company co-founded in 1983. Speaking on Twitter, Fargo framed his promise as a stretch goal for inXile for the company's forthcoming PC game, The Bard's Tale 4. I asked what would we do if Bard's Tale 4 PC is a big hit. Fargo said before, adding that he would attempt to acquire Interplay if the game sells more than 2 million units within 18 months. In response to a question from one of his followers, Fargo said that any deal for Interplay would come with tons of IP, including Dragon Wars, Earthworm Jim, love the first and second one, as I mentioned, Sacrifice, and Kingpin. Fargo has subsequently clarified that he would be entirely serious about his desire to buy Interplay, which he co-founded in 1983. My fans have been requesting me to bring back my old Interplay games for years, he told Variety, and this would be the most amazing way to make that happen. It's also worth pointing out, I believe, though, that I think they also did Descent, and I think Baldur's Gate, if I remember that correctly, though. Honestly, I would be down with this. I mean, while some of the games I don't remember playing, other than the ones that I mentioned. Some of these were probably PC releases, though, since I really mostly game on consoles, not really on PC. Not that I'm against those who game on PC or anything like that. Whatever you game on, if PC is your preference of choice, that's absolutely fine. I'm just more of a console person than a PC person, though. But Earthworm Jim, I would love to see that come back, though. I would definitely be down with the idea. I remember playing Earthworm Jim back in the day. I'm playing it on the Super Nintendo, to even the infamous Earthworm Jim cartoon that was on the Kids WB back in the 90s. I remember watching that one. I think it was Earthworm Jim, he's such a groovy guy. It's some sort of weird theme song for it, though. Anyway, but I would love to see that IP make a return. Maybe do a true Earthworm Jim 3 game, not the Earthworm Jim 3D, but one where maybe in a Metroidvania style. That would be nice. Other games I would love to see make a comeback, though, like, say, maybe, Wild 9, maybe MDK. I think Boulder Gate's Dark Alliance was part of Interplay, I believe so. If they could do that, a remake of those two games would be great, the first and second one, and if it's possible to do the third one as well. And although if they do bring it back, I would love to see these appear on consoles. Most likely, I would love to see these come to the Nintendo Switch if it's possible. Obviously, there's a good chance they'll take a look at Bard's Tale 4, how well that does on PC, and if it does well enough, maybe he will actually go through with it and buy out Interplay's IP. I'm not sure they would get Fallout. I think at this point Fallout is belongs to Bethesda. Some may or may not like that though, but at this point I can't see Fallout reverting back to Brian Fargo in any way though. Wastelands, I would be open to them if they could bring, although I would be open if they were to bring like Wastelands 3 over to consoles, particularly the Switch if it's possible though. But overall, I would say I would love to see this happen. Some of the IPs I remember playing, I would love to see make a comeback like MDK, Wild 9, and Earthworm Jim. And I would be open for Boulder Gate's Dark Alliance, if I'm saying the name correctly. So here's to hoping that Bartale 4 is a success on the PC, and here's to hoping that should they go through with actually buying up Interplay's old IPs, that not only do these get revived, but hopefully we could see them become available on all platforms like PC, PS4, Xbox One, and I do hope that we could see these come to the Nintendo Switch as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I hope this does go through, though. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 2 of our video, and this one's going to be about the August NPD sales that NPD just released, though. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the NPD sales for August 2018, of course, and while we don't have the exact numbers of what units were sold, I think there are some other sites may point out what units may or may not be sold. It appears as though that this month might have been great for both two companies, at least based on an article from VentureBeat. Again, links in the description below. First off would be EA, whether you love or hate them, and believe me, there are a lot of reasons people hate EA though. It wasn't enough to stop them from taking the #1 spot with Madden NFL 2018. Another company was Capcom with the success of both Monster Hunter games, Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate, that got released on the Nintendo Switch. According to the article from VentureBeat, it says, August was a strong month for the hit Madden NFL 19. The PC port of Monster Hunter World also did well, and the ongoing powerhouse of Rainbow Six Siege and Grand Theft Auto 5 is strong as ever. In terms of the top best-selling games, top 20 best-selling games of August, they have Madden NFL 19 at #1, Monster Hunter World at #2, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege at #3, Grand Theft Auto 5 at #4, Mario Kart 8 still at number 5. I kind of got that mixed up. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker at #6, God of War at #7, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 at #8. Obviously, I think that's the re-release of that though. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at #9. #10 is Super Mario Odyssey. #11 is Minecraft. I would assume that might be the Switch and 3DS version as well, but it could be all the other versions. #12, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Again, I think that's also the Switch, Xbox One, and PC version, and I think combine that with the PS4 version as well. #13 is Far Cry 5. #14, Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate. That's kind of interesting that got released, despite the fact that that is a port of the 3DS game making its way on the Switch. Obviously, it's possible that Monster Hunter World may have introduced a new audience and they decided to give this one a go on Nintendo Switch. So that could be the case, to be exact, but who knows. #15, Call of Duty World War II. #16, Mario Tennis Ace. #17, Overwatch. #18, Lego's The Incredible. #19, We Happy Few. That's interesting, that one did well, despite, I think, some reviews about some of the issues of bugs or glitches and all that stuff, but obviously that wasn't enough to stop people from buying that game. And #20 is The Crew. As far as the top best-selling games of 2018 so far. The top 10, they have Far Cry 5 at number 1, God of War at number 2, Monster Hunter World at number 3, number 4, Madden NFL 19, number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, no pun intended on that one, number 6, Call of Duty World War II, number 7, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, number 8, Mario Kart 8, number 9, NBA 2K18, and number 10, Super Mario Odyssey. In terms of the top best-selling games for the last 12 months, they have number 1, they have Call of Duty World War II, number 2, NBA 2K18, number 3, Destiny 2, number 4, Super Mario Odyssey, number 5, Far Cry 5, number 6, Star Wars Battlefront 2, number 7, Madden NFL 18, number 8, Assassin's Creed Origins, number 9, God of War, and number 10, FIFA 18. As far as the breakdown in terms of each system, though, as far as the Xbox One goes, most of these are pretty much third-party games, except for PlayerUnknown's Battleground, which is at number 4 right now. But other than that, the rest are basically third-party games. PS4 obviously has 3 games, their first-party games in their top 10 best-selling games for the PS4 in August, and that would be number 2, God of War, number 6, Horizon Zero Dawn, and number 7, Detroit Become Human. I also forgot to mention number 9, MLB 18 The Show. Otherwise, the top best-selling game for the PS4 in August, they have Madden NFL 19 on there. Going over to the Nintendo side of it, as far as the Switch goes, though, Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate and Octopath Traveler seem to be and Minecraft seem to be the only third-party developed games that made it onto the list. Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate is at number 4, Octopath Traveler is at number 6, and Minecraft is at number 10, with the rest filling out with first-party games, with Mario Kart 8 at number 1, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at number 2, and Super Mario Odyssey at number 3. Surprisingly, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is at number 8, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is at number 9, and Mario Tennis Ace, despite some people not liking that game, still is in there at number 5, though. And the 3DS, though, has Pokemon Ultra Sun at number 1, WarioWare Gold at number 2, Pokemon Ultra Moon at number 3, number 4, Mario Kart 7, number 5, Super Smash Bros., the Wii U and 3DS version, number 6, Super Mario Land 3D, number 7, Minecraft, number 8, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, number 9, Super Mario Maker, and number 10, the top 100. So overall, I will have to say, as far as this list goes, despite the hate EA is getting, apparently it appears as though Madden NFL 19 is certainly doing well for now. It would be interesting to see what happens if these whole loot box regulations and what other countries are pushing starts impacting EA, and who knows if this could impact not only FIFA but maybe Madden as well. But at the moment, it seems as though that seems to be doing very well for the month of August. Capcom has to be pretty happy, though, with the success of Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Generation Ultimate. So it's pretty much clear, though, that Monster Hunter is certainly becoming a hit, and it certainly isn't going away. So good that Monster Hunter World and Generation Ultimate is doing very well. Mario Tennis Ace is certainly doing very well for Nintendo, despite some people not liking it, and of course God of War is doing very well, and of course Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, obviously that game is still going even though it's been released last year, so it's clear that that's got to be good for Nintendo. Minecraft, of course, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy as well. So overall, obviously Capcom's happy, obviously Nintendo is happy, and love them or hate them, EA must be pretty happy with Madden NFL 19 doing very well. It will be interesting to see what September NPD sales are going to be, and I assume they'll release it around this time in October, probably in the 20th or the 21st. And although I could be completely wrong on this, if I had to take a guess what I think the best-selling game of September is going to be, I think based on where things are heading right now, I think Spider-Man for the PS4 is probably going to take the #1 spot. I could be wrong, and it may not take the #1 spot at all, though, and it would certainly be a shock if it's not the top 20 best-selling games of September. I would certainly be surprised by that, but given where everything is heading right now, I would say more than likely I would say it would probably be in the top 20, and am leaning more towards the possibility it's going to be the #1 best-selling game of September. And I do want to state for the record, this is coming from a longtime Nintendo fan. So we'll have to wait and see. But overall, EA, like I said, EA is probably happy. Capcom certainly must be happy with both their Monster Hunters games doing well. Obviously, Sony's happy with several of their games doing well. And Nintendo certainly is happy with their games doing well, especially Mario Tennis Ace, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 3 of our video, and this one has to do with comments made about the possibility that we could be getting a Wolfenstein 3. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at a comment made by Bethesda about Wolfenstein 3. Now, Wolfenstein and Doom are FPS shooters that I have a lot of respect for. I view them as the granddaddy of FPS shooters. And between those games and, say, Call of Duty and that kind of stuff, I would pick Wolfenstein and Doom over Call of Duty any day. And the last game, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus that came out, was, of course, fun single-player experience as well. Even on the Nintendo Switch, despite the Switch's limitation, it amazes me that they were able to pull that game off, particularly Panic Button to be exact. Well, it seems as though it looks like Wolfenstein 3 is going to happen despite the sales numbers of Wolfenstein 2 to be exact. In an article from Game Rant, again, link will be in the description of this video. It basically says, quote, in an interview with Metro, Bethesda's VP Pete Himes confirmed there will in fact be a third mainline Wolfenstein title coming sometime in the future. There were some worries following the release of Wolfenstein 2 last holiday season, as its relatively quick price drop was thought to be the cause by the poor sale of the game. Here's what Hines had to say when asked about the potential for Wolfenstein 3. He said, quote, yeah, sure, absolutely, we're making a Wolfenstein 3. They say on the stage that they're taking a break from the larger story to do this thing, but we all have to see how that ends. The break Hines is referring to is a brand new Wolfenstein spin-off story titled Wolfenstein Youngblood. Youngblood is a competitive shooter set in an alternate history 1980, where protagonist BJ Blazkowiczi's twin daughter is featured as playable character. The game is expected to launch sometime in 2019, though. So, the announcement that Wolfenstein 3 is happening does definitely bring a smile to my face. I am very glad that they are looking at doing Wolfenstein 3, and it sounds like they will move forward to it. As for which platforms it could be released on, the most likely I'm looking at is obviously PC and Steam. I could definitely see it come to the PS4 and Xbox One, although I wouldn't rule out the possibility that it could come to the PS5 and the Xbox Scarlet, or whatever Microsoft is going to call it. As far as the Switch version is concerned, while we don't know if it will be coming to the Nintendo Switch, I will say, given Bethesda's support for Nintendo's platform, to be exact, with especially games ranging from Skyrim to the port of Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, and Doom, which is still very impressive that they were able to pull that off. I would say the chances are very good that we could get a Wolfenstein 3, on the Nintendo Switch. That's not to say I am confirming it or anything like that, but I will say, given Bethesda's support for the Nintendo Switch so far, I would say the odds are very good for it to be coming to the Nintendo Switch, but we'll have to wait until we get official confirmation. But overall, it's very encouraging that Bethesda is going to do a Wolfenstein 3. Here's to hoping we'll hear about it at some point down the road, though, as well. But overall, great that Wolfenstein 3 is coming. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 4, and this one's going to be talking about Sony's announcement of the PlayStation Mini. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 4 of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the announcement Sony made about their upcoming new system, the PlayStation Mini. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you are aware that Nintendo has recently released both the NES Mini and the Super Nintendo Minis. These are like mini consoles packed in with a certain amount of games in them, and they have proven to be been doing very well, at least for Nintendo, despite some shortage issues. We've seen recently Sega has decided to team up to do the Sega Genesis Mini, although there's been some issues with the company they hired with that to work on that. And of course, we've heard rumors of a patent being filed to the possibility we're going to get an N64 Mini here. That announcement as well. Well, apparently, obviously, Sony is certainly jumping on the bandwagon with these mini consoles. In an article posted on their blog site, though, again, link will be in the description, it says, introducing the PlayStation Classic or PlayStation Mini, however you want to call it, with 20 preloaded games, though. Today, and I think this article was posted September 18th, so either way. Today, we are excited to announce that we are bringing back the original PlayStation experience in a new miniaturized version, PlayStation Classic. The console will come preloaded with 20 classic titles, including fan favorites such as Final Fantasy VII, Jumping Flash, Rig Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms, though. The mini console is approximately 45% smaller than the original PlayStation, and it emulates the original look and feel by featuring similar controls and package. Longtime fans will appreciate the nostalgic that comes with rediscovering the games they know and love, while gamers who might be new to the platform can enjoy the groundbreaking PlayStation console experience that started all. All preloaded games will be playable in the original format. Available for pre-order at selected retailers across the US and Canada. Each unit will come with an HDMI cable to connect to their TV, a USB cable, and 2 controllers for local multiplayer within compatible titles. PlayStation Classic will be available for $99.99 in the US, $100, and $129.99 for Canada. That'll probably be $130 on December 3rd, 2018, historical date for us at PlayStation, though. So apparently, obviously, Sony is jumping aboard the bandwagon for these mini consoles, though. And honestly, you know what? I don't blame them. I mean, given how successful the NES Mini and the Super Nintendo Mini has been, it clearly sees that Sony wants a piece of that pie. Some may argue and say, oh, Sony's copying Nintendo and so forth, yada, yada, yada. And that's true. But you know what? I'm not against this, though. If Sony wants a piece of the pie and they want to basically put out like their own mini console, like what Nintendo did, though, that's fine. I mean, it's competition, though, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of games that Sony puts in to their mini console, assuming they're basically 20 of those games. If I have one complaint, I will say about the PlayStation Mini, or PlayStation Classic as they're calling it though, is the DualShock controller, where in this case, they're going with the really early PlayStation controller. This was before the DualShock was introduced into it though, and I mean, I would have preferred if they used the first DualShock controller, not the ones that was released that didn't have the analog sticks and all. But again, that's my preference. That's my approach to it. So overall, I'm not surprised that Sony's doing this. I'm not completely shocked by this, and I'm certainly not against them releasing this kind of system to compete against Nintendo, to be exact. It would be very interesting to see how well it does, because if this one does well, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear a PlayStation 2 Classic or a PlayStation Mini. I mean, hell, if Sega releases their Sega Genesis Mini and they get everything organized and all that stuff, and that becomes well, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear one about maybe a Sega CD Mini, or a Sega Saturn Mini, or a Sega Dreamcast Mini, to be exact. So overall, I'm not surprised that Sony's doing this, and you can argue whether or not they're copying Nintendo or not, but you know what? They want a piece of the pie of what Nintendo did with the NES Mini and the Super NES Mini, and I'm not surprised by this. Whether it becomes a success or not, though, remains to be seen. We'll have to wait and see on December 3rd to see how well the PlayStation Classic does. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our fifth and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and this has to do with the possibility we could be seeing Castlevania, or at least a return of the cult classic Castlevania Symphony of the Night, making a comeback. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our fifth and final My 2 Cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at the possibility that Konami could be bringing back one of their beloved series, the Castlevania series, particularly Symphonies of the Night. Now, I'm not the biggest Castlevania fan, but I have played several of the entries in the series before, ranging from maybe playing the old school NES to the N64 version, to even some of the entries that made their way on the Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, and even on the PlayStation 2. Plus the Lords of Shadow one on the PlayStation 3 as well. But one entry that I still hold with high regards and is still a favorite entry of mine was the 1997 release of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This was the first time a game like that used the Metroid style formula. Up to this point, the whole Metroid approach to games and all that stuff has only been confined to basically that type of game. Metroid was basically a game that took the 2D approach from like the Super Mario Bros. Series, but the exploration part from the Legend of Zelda series. When Castlevania Symphony of the Night was released back in 1997, many of it started to dub the thing Metroidvania, and it's a term that has been used even till this day, with several other games that have come out that have used that Metroidvania style approach. And of course, after Symphony of the Night, that approach has been used in other Castlevania games, particularly on the Game Boy Advance, and of course the Nintendo DS. Well, it seems as though Konami, even though despite the reputation it has earned over the years, might be bringing the series back, particularly two entries though. The Metroidvania Symphony of the Night, and the old school style approach Rodado of Blood, if I'm saying the name correctly though if these stories are true. In an article on Game Rant, it points out that a Castlevania collection has been leaked. It could be leaked from for the PS4. According to the article, it points out the leak of a potential Castlevania collection comes via the Korean Game Rating and Administration Committee, as it has listed Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, and Rondo of Blood, RONDO, with a rating of 15 for the region. At the time of the rating being discovered, only the PS4 has been listed. There are 2 separate ratings for both games, with one in Korea and the one in English. This could lead to a collection launching in multiple regions. There's no word on yet if the collection could be coming to the Xbox One or PC. However, with the PS4 listing, this could possibly rule out either of these games being added to the list of titles coming to the newly announced PlayStation Classics launching in December. As far as playable Castlevania games on Xbox One goes, the arcade re-release of Castlevania, although they're saying Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I'm not sure if it was an arcade game, is the only title for the series available on the system's list of backwards compatible games. Now, there could be many reasons why Konami could be doing this, though. Some of it could be digging into some of their old libraries to bring some of the games back. Some of it could be in response to how Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is being received as we speak, considering that the person who's working on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is the same person who helped develop Castlevania Symphony of the Night before leaving Konami, though, along with a lot of people leaving Konami to be exact. And given how well Bloodstained Curse of the Moon did this year, though, and the positive response that got, it's possible Konami could be trying to dig in some of their old library and bring some of those folks who may have backed Bloodstained to who may have never played, who backed Bloodstained to relive the memories of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Honestly, if this is true, though, I would be down with it. I would love to see a new generation who may have never played this type of game get a chance to try it out. As for which systems it will be out, though, as of right now, it's listing it for the PS4 for the moment, but I wouldn't rule out the possibility that we could see it come to PC or Steam, or it could come to the Xbox One, or even the Nintendo Switch for that matter, although nothing is official. And given the fact that we're seeing Simon Belmont and I think Richard from the Castlevania series make an appearance in Super Smash Bros., I would say the chances that Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night coming to the Switch are very high. I do think there is a chance it could come to the Nintendo Switch, but then again, on the other hand, Solid Snake made an appearance in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and his series didn't make it over to the Wii or anything like that. So there's a possibility that could happen, but I will say I still believe there's a good chance we could see those games come to the Nintendo Switch. But overall, I'm hoping this is true. Hopefully we'll hear an announcement soon, to be exact, and I would definitely be down with playing Symphony of the Night again. It still remains one of my favorite Castlevania games out there, and it still remains a personal favorite of mine as well. So hopefully this is true, and fingers crossed that it will make an appearance on other systems as well. My hope is that it comes to the Nintendo Switch, because I could see a game like that, particularly a Metroidvania style game, doing well on the Nintendo Switch. But again, that's my opinion. But overall, my hope is that this story and this leak does turn out to be true. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. But what are yours? What are your thoughts about the idea that Brian Fargo could buy Interplay? Are you down with that, though? Are you not down with that, though? Do you think he's being serious that if Bard's Tale 4 sells 18 million within 2 months that he'll buy Interplay? Or do you think he's just pulling people's legs? If they do buy Interplay, what games would you like to see them bring back, though? For me, it would be Earthworm Jim, but I'm sure there are other games people would like to see brought back. What are your thoughts about August 2018 NPD sales? Were you surprised Madden NFL 19 was number 1, or are you not surprised at all? Do you think seeing both Monster Hunter's games on there, Monster Hunter World and Generation Ultimate, is a clear sign that the series is growing strong here in the West? And what about, other entries like Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Grand Theft Auto 5, God of War? Do you think those games are growing strong as well? What are your thoughts about Bethesda possibly working on, but it sounds like they are, of Wolfenstein 3. Are you down with another entry in the Wolfenstein series, or do you think they need to give that series a rest? What do you think about the PlayStation Mini or the PlayStation Classic being announced? Is this something that you would be willing to buy when it comes out on December 3rd? Are you upset that they're copying Nintendo on this, or do you think it's not really a big deal, or you're not really that surprised by this announcement of them making the PlayStation Classic? And what about the possibility that Castlevania Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood is going to possibly coming to the PS4? Are you excited about this announcement? Are you glad that they're bringing this game over, though? And do you think we could see it come to the PC or the Xbox One or even the Nintendo Switch for that matter? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description. Oh, I also forgot, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit the bell icon for notification of any new videos I put up. And this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!